Hello and welcome. Today's class is a quad lengthening class. If you do a lot of yoga, yoga is a little bit notorious for doing a lot of quad strengthening and hamstring lengthening, which can create a little bit of an imbalance. So today we're going to counteract that and work on lengthening through the quads as we strengthen a little bit more through the hamstrings. All you need is your mat, yourself, and be close to a wall as we'll be using that today. But let's get started at standing up, grounding down through the right foot. You can hold onto a wall for balance, and then bringing your left heel towards your bum. Try to bring your knees together to start, or as close as they will go. And then gently tucking your tail between your legs to accentuate the stretch along the front line of this left leg. You can pull the heel in a little bit more and then reach that knee down away from you towards the floor. Slowing the breath down. We're not doing anything too crazy or strenuous here. We're just starting to lengthen through that quad. Slowly lower. Other side. Right heel to bum. Bring the knees together to start, or as close as possible. Slight posterior pelvic tilt, so like a dog tucking its tail between its legs. Push that knee or pull that knee down towards the mat as you pull the heel in towards your bum. And breathing. Slowly release. I fibbed. If you have blocks might be handy as well. Coming to the top of our mat, let's step our left leg back to start. Lowering down onto that back left knee. Coming into a low runner's lunge, using the blocks as support. And relaxing the hips down into this. We should really feel the stretch along the front side of this left leg, the hip flexor, the quad. And to make this a little bit more dynamic, let's come out of it a bit and release down back into it. Not moving too quick. We want this to be a little bit slow and controlled. If it helps you, you can think about moving through molasses. One of my all-time favorite cues. Keep going back and forth for a few more rounds. Keeping your breath purposeful. And at the bottom of the next one, find some stillness. See if you can sink down into it a little bit more. Shifting this block in a little bit closer, you can bring the right hand to the inside of that right leg, bend through the left leg, and see if you can reach for that back foot. If you can't find it, that's fine. You can just stay right here. Using this strength will strengthen the backside of the leg, which will help open up the front as well. If you're able to find the foot, you can pull in on your foot to get deeper into the stretch. Remember, it doesn't matter what it looks like. If your foot's way back here, but you feel a stretch along the front of your leg, that's what we're looking for. That's all that matters. Sensation over the aesthetic or appearance of the poses. Holding this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly unravel and release. That's a big stretch, so we're not coming out of these too quick. When we lengthen the muscle, we want to give them a little bit of an opportunity to relax back into their natural length. And switch out the legs here. Left foot forward, sink down into it, using the blocks as support. And now we're going to bring the movement into this, coming out of it, sinking back in. Breath is steady. Movement is controlled, so it's not momentum. Couple more of these. At the bottom of the next one, find your depth again. And then bring the right block closer to the inside of that left foot. The left hand comes on top of that block as we twist over the right, towards the right, bend through the leg. Maybe we're staying right here. Maybe we can grab the foot and pull it in a little bit more. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly unravel. Bring that left knee back. And let's keep our blocks with us. They might help. I'm going to mosey on over to this wall because you'll be able to see best what I'm doing. And we're doing our couch stretch here. So if you don't have a clear wall that you can use, but you've got a couch, you can back your knee and foot up against the edge of a couch or wall in this case. And then step the right foot forward. So we're doing similar to what we just did, but using the wall or couch to keep that back leg bent. Coming into this low lunge, sinking into it, and then coming up out of it a little bit more than we did without the wall. So seeing if you can get your back as close to the wall as possible. Maybe you need to shimmy that front foot in a little bit. I use that foot to help push me back a little bit, and take it slow and gentle. This is a pretty intense stretch, so you don't have to get there right away. Use your blocks, readjust that front foot, lower down into it, and come out of it, pushing your back against the wall or an imaginary wall if you're up against a couch. Let's stay here now. And if you want a little bit more, the left arm can come up and then reach overhead. So we're bringing the side body stretch into it, which elongates the front line of the left leg a little bit more as well. Couple more rounds of breath. Come out of the side stretch, grab the blocks, and then I just switch my bent leg first, and then bring the other foot forward. This is one of my favorite quad stretches. I do this one as often as I can because I love it. So this side, let's sink down into it using our blocks for support. And then coming out of it, or lifting up out of it, bring our bodies a little more upright. Move a little bit slow, we don't force it. Keep the breath calm so that we're letting the body know that this is okay, it's a safe pose to be in. That way when we come to it again the next time, our bodies will remember it in a positive light and be like, oh yeah, there's nothing dangerous about this because I didn't panic. I stayed calm despite the intense sensations. Coming out of it, lifting up. I think we came down one more time on the other side, so we'll do that here. Come down one more time. And then lift up out of it. And then we're going to stay here. Adjust the knee if you need to. My knee started jamming into the wall a little bit too much, making it uncomfortable. You can always double up your mat here as well if this is too much on your knee. And now right arm comes up, little side body stretch, just to accentuate the sensation all along the front side. Few more rounds of breath. Come out of the side stretch, hinge forward, use the blocks to come out of it slowly, gently. Again, not rushing because that's a pretty intense stretch as well. Let's move now. We're gonna come to lay on our sides on our mats. Laying on whatever side you want to start with, and then I'm bringing this top leg heel towards my bum, just like we did standing, but we're doing this side reclining. So reach the knee away from you. As you pull the heel in towards your bum, tuck your tail between your legs, push your hips a little bit more forward. 3 rounds of breath. Slowly release. You can just flip over. I'm spinning around to do the other side. Get set up, get situated, and then heel towards the bum. Pull the knee away from you. Tuck your tail between your legs. And push your hips a little bit more forward. And that was our last round of breath. So slowly coming out of it. This next one, I want to spin this way, is another one of my favorites. It can be pretty intense as well. So I'm going to give options, progressions. Starting with the left leg, I'm bending it up like a half fixed firm hero's pose. My right leg will be bent, and then I'm going to work my way down. If being up here is enough for you, you can stay right here. If this is uncomfortable on your knee, then you can omit this one and do the standing variation, just some other variation that we just did. This one can be a little bit finicky for people, but like I said, if it is accessible to you, it's one of my favorites. So foot is on the outside of the hip. You can stay seated upright. Maybe you recline onto the forearms, and maybe you can come all the way back. If you're all the way down, I like to adjust my pelvis. So again, that posterior pelvic tilt and tucking the tail between the legs, and right there, you should feel even more of a stretch in that bent leg quad. So we've already gone through some levels, staying upright, maybe just reclining, maybe coming all the way back. If you still want more, what you can now do is this top leg, hug your knee in towards your chest, your shoulder, your armpit area. And keep the left knee down. If that knee popped up a little bit, then just come back here. There's no harm in trying it out. But if that knee pops up a lot, we're just not there yet. If you feel a really good stretch and like it, then by all means stay there. One more option here is going to be extending through this top leg. Try to keep this knee down in contact with the mat. Let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Come all the way up out of it and switch to the other side. Bending up the other leg. Foot is on the outside of the hip. Staying upright, maybe coming down to the forearms, maybe coming down all the way. Use that other planted foot to help adjust the pelvis, that posterior pelvic tilt, and you'll feel even more of a stretch right there. Even if you're going to the other progressions where this knee comes up, let's just hang out here for a moment, because again, we're giving the muscle time to warm up to this, lengthen out slowly without aggressively doing it and potentially pulling something. If you're ready for a little bit more, pulling this top leg in towards your chest. Steady, calm breath. And then maybe, if you want more, extending through that top leg. Trying to push the back down into the mat. One more round of breath. And then slowly reversing to come out of it. All the way up and out. And we're going to finish on our bellies. So find your way there with me. Starting with whatever foot you choose. But I'm bringing the forearm in front of me. Opposite foot is going to bend, reaching back with the same hand. If you can grab the foot, same thing as we've been doing, pulling the heel in closer towards the bum. And same cues, tuck your tail between your legs, push your hips a little bit more forward, pull that bent knee away from you. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release and switch sides. Reach back, see if you can grab the foot, pushing it down. Tuck your tail, push your hips forward, pull that bent knee away from you. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. We're going to finish out class on our bellies here. So you can just cross your forearms, rest your head on them, close out your eyes. You can let your feet fall a little bit further apart. Try to slow the breath down. Relaxing into your mat. Noticing how you feel after that short class. Notice how the quads specifically feel. Gently curling up the outer edges of your mouth, bringing that ever so slight smile onto your face. See if you can slow the breath down a little bit more. Maybe you count with it. See if you can do inhales to a count of 5 or 6, maybe even 7. Taking a moment of gratitude for yourself, for showing up for yourself. And then visualize something else in your mind's eye that you are grateful for. A person, something else, whatever it is, picturing it in your mind, expressing internally what it is about this person or thing that you're grateful for. Keeping that gentle smile on your face. If you got anything from this class, I do ask that you like, comment, subscribe, or share, as it helps me immensely. I thank you once again for joining me. And in closing, we say, Namaste.